in its green machine shape, a bulging and inaccurate feel to it. Since the war ended, no one asked much about Jimmy, assuming him, as our woman had, returned to the States, until one Friday morning a handsome postcard arrived via a German military base, informing her he'd been redeployed. Afghanistan this time. She recalled the morning well. It was the same Friday Joni suggested she apply for Meals on Wheels, and she had been angered on both counts. She had not told the girls the news of Jimmy's redeployment, fearing it would only endorse what they might be hearing in the bank. But still, she found the coincidence of it appalling. All out to get me while I'm weak. I wouldn't tell them a thing. It'll only be the start of something. Something was suggestion. Our woman cannot abide them. Impertinent, ill thought out, like flipping an egg before it was ready or pulling a loaf from the oven with the yeast still stretchy and wet. Get the facts before you come at me. She wanted to sweep them all back. That a broom could hold back a population, what a grand prospect. Gentle and all, as Joni had been about the Meals on Wheels, it had stung her hard. With her diabetes, sure she could qualify for them, did she know? And 60, sure young as it was, and indeed it was young, was as good an age as any to apply. It was the diabetes. The gang didn't like the diabetes, because she could no longer partake in the thick slices of fruitcake they all ate together. Will you ever be shut of it? Does it go away? The girls had asked, replacing the lid on the cake tin with a deliberate, let-down rattle. Any small change to their routine created a shudder and produced the very thing she despised, a volley of suggestions delivered to deafen her with their irritation. And down she'd go, concertinaed, her brain sunk to her ankles for a full 24 hours. How those suggestions ate away at her when she might be beating an egg or straightening a cushion. Incessantly, she examined them for hidden meaning and intimation. Did they think her older than them? Would they say it if she still had a husband? Did they think her hopeless because she was a widow? She discounted that one. There were 2 other widows in the group. But the other widows were still dancing, and she was not. I loathed the dancing. I loathed the look of those swaying couples and the heat and the hair and the smell of the smoke afterwards. Nothing would tempt me back to it. I won't go back. But the Meals on Wheels, wasn't that the sort of thing infirm, incontinent people needed? She must get her hair done. She'd get her hair done and that'd settle it. The girls would talk of her hair and leave the diabetes alone. Another worry. Maybe they'd figured out Jimmy. She must keep close to Patsy and her son, for it was at Patsy any leak would begin. In response to this burst of punitive anxiety, she told the gang she was busy the next 2 days. An unusual move to startle them, for not a day passed that several of them didn't meet. They were like tight ligaments in each other's life, contracting, extending and sustaining the muscle of each other, house to house, tongue to ear. The first afternoon without them, she took on elaborate baking projects that mostly resulted in failure, making her feel steadily worse. A collapsed, rough-looking spanakopita sent her plunging to a new low. The spinach was climbing outside the cratered pastry, diligently clawing its way up and over the pan, while the feta cheese swum for its life at the sides. A sunken, hopeless mess. The sugar-free fruitcake came out squashed and flat as a cricket bat, as she puzzled over which ingredient exactly she had misread or misplaced. Baking powder was the culprit. It tasted worse than it appeared. The phone rang while she was outside offering these tasteless morsels to the chickens. Let it ring. Let them wonder. She took time to slowly wind back down the garden with the bucket empty, pausing to unhook her boots, customarily bash them together and position them by the mat.